Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, and we're doing a little podcast today, me and Pete, uh, relating to the new group that we've got, which is Pete. Tell them about it.
Yeah, it's BCFC, the project, the story of the blues, in brackets, fans, close brackets. Basically, it's all like more about from a personal perspective of your journey as being a blues fan. These are the stories that we need to get out there. You know what I mean? They'll go with us if we don't. That's the problem. So it's open for anyone to talk about people that are no longer here, their own memories and whatever. Like I say, statistics are there forever. Our memories aren't, and we've got to get them out there. Which is thanks to
Yeah,
you and the group. We've got a platform to do that.
and I think it's good if we can sort of stick to that thing, really, because like memories of games, like this game in 1964 and a program and that is really interesting. But it's
Yeah,
not really for that group, is it? That's more for the main group.
yeah, yeah.
It's more about on this day, I did this and I went there with this person, and these are my memories. It's not like photos and programs. That's still interesting and great to see, but more for the main group.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch before we get waffling our usual crap that on the Tony Mowbray issue. Um, Absolutely shocked yesterday. I was. I didn't actually find out about it until probably after everyone else knew about it. What was your thoughts?
Well, I hate to say, but it's almost like it could only happen to blues, couldn't it? You know what I mean? Just when things are going right, just when all of a sudden this great, everyone's on such a massive high after Saturday, and then you hear this news, and I mean, it's not until you give it a bit of thought and say, well, hang on, it's all about Tony here. Let's get things in perspective. You know what I mean? Let's not
Absolutely.
why football's a game at the end of the day. Let's make sure that he's okay. And you started off this petition, didn't you, in the group?
Oh well. Yeah. It was basically just us as a group trying to send our best wishes to Tony Mowbray. So I had a chat with Sean Baldock, who is one of our moderators, like you are, Pete. And
Yeah,
although we don't see you in the moderators group very often, I had a chat with Sean, and what we did was put a post on asking people to just give Tony Mowbray their best wishes in 10 words or less, which is probably a lot. But it means we could send more messages to him
I
because
was
it
going to
was.
say very, very, very difficult for me to do anything in less than 10 words, but I managed to do it yesterday, and like I say, it's just fantastic. Things were done from the heart, weren't they? Yesterday, you could tell by what was being written.
I think the thing that came across more to me than anything else is how people have taken Tony Mowbray to the heart. Yeah, I
Yes,
don't think you would have
absolutely.
seen the same outcrying or outpouring of feelings, save for an Aita Karanka or something. We would all have been sympathetic, but Tony
Yeah,
Mowbray seems to have touched the supporters. He has a certain, I don't know, but he seems to do it wherever he goes because I've seen supporters from all the clubs he's managed coming on and giving their best wishes to him, different platforms on the internet. But the nice thing was that when we'd done it, I think we had about 500 messages in about 3 hours, so we had to just stop it there. And Sean put together, I think, about 100 of them, and I sent them this morning by email to Jeremy Dale and asked him, Jeremy, this is from the group. Jeremy Dahl, as you know, Pete, is in our group, and he has
yeah,
been, I don't know, probably from August, I think, when we first started. So I asked him if he could share uh, the messages with Tony Mowbray, and I sort of left it at that. And within 10 minutes, he'd come back and he said, Steve, he said he was actually following the thread himself. He said, and he was absolutely, gobsmacked and touched by the outpouring of feeling towards Tony Mowbray, and I was as well. I mean, it's a difficult thing to explain. I don't know how the blokes got that close to us because we're a miserable bunch of bastards at the best of times. But he's won everyone's heart, and no matter what happens with this, Tony Mowbray is going to be a little bit of a legend for the Blues, I think.
It's the way he talks about his players and whatever. He's just so genuine, and I haven't disagreed with anything he's ever said. Everything I've heard come from his mouth, I'm thinking, yeah, you're right there. Yeah, you know what I mean. And obviously, I ain't the only one. And he just comes across. He's that passionate about his football, but in a not going over the top way about it. He's very measured in what he says, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a sort of man of the people, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's where he's connected with everybody.
He is, and I think the club, for the club to respond that quickly as well, and to be open about it. And what I mean, I've seen the thing about Moxley on X or Twitter, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
He said yesterday that it was a serious illness or whatever. Listen, no one should be speculating on this. I speculated yesterday and said I thought it might be a nip or a nip. I said that yesterday as well. A hip or a knee replacement. Because it's a possibility. I know it probably isn't, but let's not go overboard on this. And what people are doing is speculating on a man's health. What could
Yeah.
possibly be serious health issues. So I think Moxley was out of order. He has since retracted it and apologised, which is the right thing to do.
Well, I mean, the blokes asked for privacy, which the least we can do is give him that, isn't it? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm.
Hopefully, we'll get him back
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. But the main thing is that we get a healthy Tony back.
Yeah, and I think as well, the other thing is that like Mark Venus has worked with him for a number of years. Martin Venus knows the way he operates. He'll be in touch with Tony all the time. He's got Ashley Cole with him as well, and the other guys. So I think we're in good hands anyway. But I think everyone, it was absolutely brilliant the way our group, sent out their feelings from the heart to Tony Mowbray via the club, who handled it brilliantly. So well done, everyone, on that. I'm absolutely proud of my group and proud of the Blues. Well done. And of course, Tony Mowbray, get well, son. Quick.
Before we get waffling though, whilst we're in the well done sections, I just want to say well done to Tony and Dave and everyone at Central Brews yesterday
Yeah,
for
brilliant.
the rain. It was absolutely outstanding, and the love that woman had was there for everyone to see yesterday. I mean, it's nice to see. It weren't sort of like face spotting who's there and who isn't, but like Hoppy turned up, which I thought was nice as well. Like, you know what I mean? I know he does go on the coaches now and again and whatever, but it's just a nice little touch. I mean, I suppose I'm the same as you, Steve. I've been to far too many funerals where you hear keep right on to the end of the road, but
Yeah.
I never been to one before where halfway through you get everybody standing up singing "Shit on the Fella."
It's sort of not appropriate, but it sort of is, I mean,
It sort of was, and
yeah.
without going into other thing, you got flipping Tony and Dave stood up, basically doing like their Tommy Cooper magic tricks, seeing what they could pull out of Lorraine's handbag, which was it was just a beautiful, forget the flowers, which were fantastic, and everything else that went around it. It was just a service that was full of love for a lovely lady.
And that's
So,
nice, Ace. And I think when you get a lot of people coming together like that from all different walks of life, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are. No doubt. I mean, Tony Routley, fair play to him, you know. He's a good lad, Tony, and he's done the business there. And you know, I think I've seen Jimmy in an Elvis outfit or something. You know, it's an unusual
dress. I was going to say, I've seen him with the Elvis thing. I was looking for his flipping the badge on the side, so if he'd get the badge in like he normally does. Got that badge everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think you know it was good, and people that know her well, I didn't. I'm sure you know they did it the way she would have liked it. So congratulations to everyone that went, and just brilliant. You know, well done everyone. A bit of a sad day yesterday. I believe we lost someone else. Again, someone I don't know actually.
Does, wasn't it? Yeah, I know. Well, it's just you know, one after another these days. You know, I mean, I keep looking at my things, my memories, and every time it comes up, like, you know, some of my dear friends, you know, oh my God, it's been 2 years since Bob left. Oh, it's been so many years since Wally left. Oh, last year it was. It's life, isn't it? So I may as well enjoy it whilst we're here.
Well, I was saying to Rachel yesterday that you know she said it seems to be never ending at the moment, but the thing is, my love, and all of us, I'm sure that are a bit older, would agree that the older you get, the more people you know die.
Yeah,
it's the way it is.
That's it. As Forrest Gump used to say, dying's a part of life, and unfortunately it is. So with that happiness out
yeah,
the
let's
way,
hear a bit about your life. Come on.
I just thought try and lighten the mood up a bit. It's basically we've playing Sunderland on Saturday. You just didn't realise how much in common we've got with Sunderland over the years. They're very much at their history and our history intertwined a bit in it. You can go back to we beat Sunderland in the 1931 FA Cup semi-final. Who did we beat in the 1956 FA Cup final? Sunderland. Go through some of our promotion. Who was your main rival to go up? Sunderland. Relegation scrap. Sunderland. They're very much an R type of club, and they're a one-team city, but all of the northeast, out of all the areas in the country, it's my favourite area to go to for football. Obviously, apart from Birmingham, and I've had some brilliant cracks up there. But sort of like looking back and you sort of like tracing back, like with Newcastle, Sunderland, and Middlesbrough, really. I mean, in that year we went up, 1971-72 sort of thing. We never beat Sunderland, and we never beat Middlesbrough. I think there was only sort of like 3 teams that year we never beat. In fact, with the Middlesbrough one, it was sort of like with 4 games to go, we couldn't get over the line against them at home. We drew 1-1, and I thought that was us. But thankfully, we won our last 3 games. Beat Hull, beat Sheffield Wednesday, beat Orient, and managed to sneak through. But that Middlesbrough game, it's, believe it or not, that's the first time that there was that one of Trevor's goals was ever shown on TV in that equaliser. Which is a bit poignant talking about that today, because today's the anniversary of his 4 goals against Bolton, isn't he?
I was talking about this with Pete Bevins earlier, and because he was saying that. Did you mention the main stand?
Yeah.
Was you there?
I was there in what was classed as the wing stand.
Yeah, because they had A, B, C, and D, didn't they? And D was the wing stand nearest to the railway.
That's right. Yeah, and you could.
Sorry, I had a season ticket with my friend and his dad in D wing, just by where you go down, you know, the exit, and then you got the refreshments. And Pete Bevins posted to say that's where he was as well. He was
Yeah.
6 rows up.
Well, funny enough, I was there as well.
How weird is that?
What a small world, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because that wing stand and whatever, it was just a couple of bob, well, whatever it was in new pence, a little bit cheaper than the central section of it
Of course,
anyway.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
that was
it was that thing then, when it of where we're going in the seats tomorrow, or so, that's
yeah.
what it used to be. But like I said, I had a season ticket, and I was lucky because I was only a kid. But my mate and his dad used to take me, and they took me everywhere. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, but like I say, I mean, I put in the group thing there, like the old man, bless him, sort of thing. Oh, you're going to see somebody really special today, sort of thing. And I says, who? He says, oh, the bloke playing for Bolton called Roger Hunt. He says he's won the World Cup for England.
Yeah. He was a good player, though.
Yeah, but no, we weren't talking about Roger Hunt afterwards. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Bless him anyway. But yeah, anyway, as I digress, as I normally do. So, getting back to our Geordie sort of thing. So, first year up, first home match of the year in the first division there. Play Sheffield United, go 1-0 up, and then who scores for Sheffield United? Trevor Rocky, and then Sheffield United then go on and win the game 2-1. Think, oh yeah, welcome to the first division. But then on the Tuesday we played Newcastle, and that was our first win. We managed to win 3-2. Bobby Hope actually scored one of the go. Bobby Hope, Bob Thatcher, and we scored from one thing that used to do my nutting back then was, we used to do this. We had this thing, this short corner routine, and all you wanted from a corner was to get the ball in the box, didn't you?
Okay.
But it was a Freddie Goodwin
Yeah.
masterpiece that he always used to do, this bloody short corner thing. And I always remember everybody having a moan about it. Oh, just get the fucking ball in the box and everything. But
They still
as
do.
it was, we done it, and it went. Gordon Taylor whacked one in, and it actually the goalie Ian McFall or something dropped it in the back of his net.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, but then going on to the following season, Newcastle, Jesus Christ, it was sort of like having power cuts by this time. Like there was the fuel crisis.
Yeah.
I think it was
Excuse me.
the Israeli war going on, or the coal strike, something
Suez
like that.
Canal or miners' strike or something.
Yeah. So we ended up we played Newcastle. We got drawn against Newcastle in the League Cup. So we drew at home, but then before we'd gone and had to have the replay, we'd got to play them in the Texaco Cup. This other thing that we were in, the Texaco Cup was over 2 legs. So we drew with them at home. So that means we've got to go up to Newcastle and have the replay there. We then have a home leg against them in the Texaco Cup, which we also drew. So then we've got to go up. We went up. This is the gospel truth. This is. We went and played the second leg of the Texaco Cup game, and it went into extra time, and it was pitch black because they couldn't put the lights on because of the power cuts and whatever. So they had to abandon the game. So that meant, and this was he'd have gone into extra time, this one. And so we had to play that again. So we played the match, gone into extra time. Oh, got to go back up and play at Newcastle again. Then we got to play the replay against Newcastle of the League Cup, which we won, which went to extra time. So it's absolutely sick of the sight to play Newcastle. Then we got to go up again. So you sort of like within the space of 10 days, really, we played Newcastle 5 times. The last game against Newcastle in the Texaco Cup, we got beat 3-1, and it was actually on the telly. and Tony got his leg bust by this little shit called Jim Smith. And then all of a sudden, because of the way the fixtures are, who do we have to play in our game on the Saturday after playing bloody Newcastle 5 times in 10 days? We got a home match against Newcastle, haven't we? When our players were out for blood and they didn't let us down. I've never been so proud of them. They're flipping. We won the game 1-0, but we kicked the shit out of Newcastle on the pitch, obviously, like, you know. But give them an absolute flipping hammering. How we got away with some of our tackling, but it was sort of like payback time. Imagine that, like playing a team 6 times in 10 days. Absolutely flipping yampy.
I remember playing Crystal Palace, I think, 4 times. I don't know if you remember that, Pete. It was in the FA Cup, I think. We drew at St Andrews, went to Palace, come back to St Andrews. No, played at Palace, brought them back to St Andrews, drew. Then the next replay went back to Palace and they drew, and then they had to draw straws, and it was at Palace. I went down there.
I mean, we've had a few of them, but at least they were a bit more spaced out than this Newcastle at 16. Yeah. Obviously, like we played Notts County 4 times and we played Norwich 4 times, the games that was going on forever. But yeah, good old Kenny. It was Kenny Burns at his finest in that Newcastle game. He absolutely kicked the shit out of them.
He was good at that, though.
Yeah. But then sort of like going the following season, sort of like first taste of Middlesbrough, they just got promoted. So our first home game, 1975, their first game, you know the way you used to get in the ground a bit early to have a sing song and whatever when you was a kid. People used to get in the ground about 2 o'clock and start singing, didn't they? That was all part of
the way down experience.
Until we found the demon drink. But I'll never forget being in there. And all of a sudden, you could see over on the tilt up the corner, there's a group of Middlesbrough fans, and they was flipping. Got chased, and they was having to jump over the wall at the top. You know that wall that collapsed when
with the sheer drop down the other side.
Yeah, which is a big fucking drop sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they was faced with the choice of either getting absolutely battered or jumping and hoping, you know, like welcome to the first. Anyway, they beat us 3-0. They, you know, yeah, great start to a new season. Beat us 3-0. Played them at their place. They beat us 3-0. We get to the 6th round of the cup. Who do we draw? Middlesbrough. But of course, we won that one, and what a brilliant day that was.
That was an absolute full house, wasn't it?
Weren't it just? Oh, what a fantastic day that was! Absolutely brilliant that was. Yeah. But yeah, so then I started going away. I didn't go away from home with Blues till sort of like 75. The semi-final really was my first one of going away, but then sort of like made up for lost time then. But there was all the stories that come back about the Greenway coaches that used to go here, there, and everywhere, and they were full of nutters. They were absolute lunatics to go there, and there's a load of stories that I'd love to get Sefton on and do a little podcast about some of the antics that they used there. And for the one game up at Newcastle, they actually took a double-decker bus up there. Fucking unbelievable. Instead of a coach, yeah, take a double-decker. I don't know if they'd actually paid for the double-decker bus or actually nicked it. But, yeah.
Well, it was like that at Wembley, wasn't it? In the Leyland Daft when fleets of double-deckers went up.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying about that, yeah. But then... I thought, well, I've got to go on one of these Greenway coaches. I've got to try one out, sort of thing. And I mean, the first one that I tried it out was away at Sunderland, towards the end of the season. And do you remember when we signed Jim Montgomery?
Yeah, what a
I,
keeper.
what a goalie he was, really.
What a
That was
great
our
keeper.
son, really. Jim
Absolutely
Montgomery, what
brilliant.
a goalie. Well, it was his return to Roker Park, and they were battling relegation sort of thing. We'd had a comfortable season in mid-table. No worries, nothing on the game for us. But Montgomery's gone up there, and the Sunderland, they give him such an ovation and sort of thing. And of course, he starts, he's playing a blinder, and if it was the other way around, we'd have turned on him and gone fucking mad. But they were still flipping cheering him, flipping saving, stopping flipping goals going on. But yeah, but this flipping Greenway, I've gone there and I've sat down, and there's a couple of women in front of us, and the one's sort of like gone in a handbag to get a bottle out, sort of thing. But before she can get the bottle out, she pulled this fucking hammer out of a bottle. I mean, she's good looking. I'm not saying that, thugs are all look one sort of way, but she looked like butter wouldn't melt. You know what I mean? And then out comes this bloody hammer. But yeah, back in them days though, there weren't sort of like segregation, was there?
No.
Sometimes you had to be a bit cute where you were what you were going to do. It wasn't all this. We're Birmingham City, we do what we want. And when you're going into a ground full of sort of like 45,000 Mackhams, sort of like desperate to win, it was time to keep a bit of a low profile. So
Yeah, it's always
thankfully,
difficult. It's always difficult then going to away games. You had to be careful, didn't you? You had to keep your metal about you, and just use your brain a little bit.
yeah, that's it. There's a time to shout and a time to be brave, and the time when you've got to, discretion is the better part of valor. When
Absolutely.
yeah. but yeah, that Greenway coach, and then on the way back, because I always used to stop for a tot on the way back. They've been banned from the whole of North Yorkshire through certain misdemeanors that I can't go into the one because it's a bit naughty. But this was in the days when you take a coach up, it was every man for himself, really.
Yeah.
It's the first time that I've ever known that the police actually escort a coach, and those escorted the coach out of Sunderland, out of Yorkshire. So the first place you could actually manage to get a stopover was Doncaster. Well, he'd gone there. Let's put it this way: out of a coach of 50, there must have been 30 come back.
You tend to lose a few, but not 20.
What Greenway people do, absolutely madness that one was. But yeah, but always loved a trip up to Sunderland. Fucking great up there. How many times have you been up? And
I've been to Sunderland. I've been to Roker Park 3 times and Stadium of Light twice.
Yeah,
I like both grounds. Roker Park's better.
yeah. I mean, great atmosphere, great flipping drink up there as well. We have a great time. But the people, you take as you find that they're proper football people, and
yeah, we've had a good crack up. We've had a good crack up there with. I've been up with Tony Clarkson a few times. I remember the first time Stadium of Light. I forget the name of the pub on a corner, and a load of us went in there. There's quite a lot of Sunderland fans in there. We was thinking, "Fucking here we go," But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was like,
yeah,
they were okay. They ended up just having a good piss up with them and going to the game. Of course, somewhere else it would have been ugly, wouldn't it? But
yeah.
But I've always liked going there.
Yeah, we generally used to stop in make a weekend of it and stop in Newcastle.
Yeah, I've done that once.
Oh, what a tune, Newcastle! I'll never get there one time. Remember Nigel Mansell, the what's his name, the Grand Prix driver? He was from Hall Green. He was.
That's right.
He was one of them, weren't he? He was a viler. and the yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Um, and the one time we was up there, he was fighting for the title. All he had to do was win this race, the last race of the season up in Australia. And everyone was gone in the pub on the lunchtime, and everybody's sort of like watching this race sort of thing. Oh, come on, Nigel, come on, you can win this, Nigel. Oh, fuck him, he's a Villa shit. We don't want him to win. And honestly, he actually, I'm not making this up. The bloke, he had a puncture on the
That's
last
right. Yeah,
couple
I can't remember. It wasn't Ayrton Senna, was it?
who actually won the title.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but all I just know is that
it was Canada, I think.
we weren't. He's lost the title in
Yeah,
the last race of the season, 2 laps from home with a burst tyre,
yeah.
and there's sort of like all of a sudden there's sort of like a group of sort of like 10 of us going absolutely berserk. Yeah, you fucking fellow bastard, sort of thing. Like, what's the matter? He's English, man. No, he's not. He's a fucking fellow fan, like, marvelous that one, brilliant sort of thing. Tough shit, man. So, um, but yeah, flipping Newcastle, what a place that is. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, you've been to the big market, have you?
Uh, yeah, certainly have. But it's like the changing of the guard going up there, though, because early doors you get all the women going up there, and the tune is absolutely rammed up till about 9:30, and then all the lumps, all the lads come in, sort of thing. But yeah, you used to be able to get sort of like trebles for £1 and everything. You're fucking brilliant time. But I've had me bits of trouble up there, sort of thing. I was that flipping drunk the one weekend. You get the usual thing. There's a group of you up there, and you got your blues badges up there. And somebody says, "Oh, take that off. Don't be showing nothing here." Well, the blues, fucking like. Next thing you know, the Wild West show is gone. Anyway, someone's come to kick me in the head, sort of thing, and in the way as they do, sort of like grab me to give me a boot. And I managed to pull away from me, but little did I know, or even was bothered about, but that it's still got a great big bloody chunk of my hair. So I flipping spent the rest of the night, the rest of the flipping day, flipping walking around like some bloody monk, mad monk with a great big flipping hole in the back of my head. But he couldn't care because I'd had my anaesthetic and whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Seth was saying earlier, he was surprised how much you can remember.
I know, yeah, they're amazing. I mean,
It's amazing anyway, but considering you was always pissed.
yeah. Funny enough, the last time I actually got in any trouble was up at Newcastle. Well, Chesterley Street, but it weren't for football. It was for cricket. Gone up to see Warwickshire play in a 4-day game, so it's just an excuse to go and stop up north east, really. Yeah, and gone in this club, and as it does, it gets a bit silly, and it ended up got me bloody cheekbone fractures. Yeah, come back. Oh, where did you do that? Football. No, cricket. Marvelous. Yeah. But yeah, I had a mate who was up in university, up in Newcastle. Wally, God bless him, rest his soul, sort of thing. But he had a house share with sort of like a lad from Middlesbrough and a lad from Bristol. Now, I don't want to stereotype people, but how this bloke, you can do degrees in anything. I think this bloke is that thick. His degree must have been in learning to spell his name. And there's something about the Bristolians and whatever, they all seem thick as shit to me. But this one was, he genuinely was. But you ever asked anyone from Bristol for directions?
Oh, God.
No, it's sort of like they say, right, you go left, right, then you go right, right. Then after you've gone left, right, you go right again, right, left, right. Oh, fuck off. Like, they're just dumb people. Sorry, but they are. And this one absolutely fitted the bill, mate. But he had a sunbed of all things. What a poser. Well, you need one up in Newcastle, I suppose, don't you? Yeah. But I mean, usual thing had happened. Like, oh, yeah, gone and had a few drinks. Oh, I'm going to have a go on this sunbed. Flipping went on it, and I fell asleep, didn't because rather than your best mate telling you, hang on, Pete, you're fucking going to cause yourself a bit of damage here. Oh, no, just let me flipping sleep off my anger. Fucking come. Oh, a bit hotter here, isn't it? Fucking hell, like, Mr. Tomato man off of the tomb. Fucking hell. No, but
So
flipping.
did you Greenway coaches? Did you go on them very often?
You what, sorry, mate?
Did you go on the Greenway coaches very often, or only a couple of times?
That was the Greenway. That was my first and last one. Was that
Yeah.
Sunderland?
I used to
That's
use
why.
Smiths quite a bit. Smiths were good.
Yeah,
In the early days, and then in the later days, always went with Tony Clarkson. He was a good mate of mine, Tony, and yeah, I had a good crack with him. His coaches were good. He's a nice lad, Tony.
well, I actually don't know the geezer, but I always remember like he actually took his coaches over to Italy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
For
Yeah,
that Anglo, fair play to that, though.
yeah,
Good.
he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And when
How
we used,
about Middlesbrough? You got any memories of Middlesbrough?
I've only been a couple of times, and it wasn't nothing exciting. Like when I went to Middlesbrough, instead of travelling uh, like on coaches or whatever, I think one was a night game, so I went up by car. I think I went with Gary once. By
Yeah.
car. Middlesbrough's a fucking horrible place, isn't it?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they call them the Smuggies, don't they?
Yeah.
It is a shithole, you know. And I haven't got any great fondness for Middlesbrough. Like I said, I like Newcastle. Newcastle's fantastic, but Sunderland for me, love Sunderland. And I
Yeah.
remember we went the first season. I think the Stadium of Light. They had the Stadium of Light. I think we lost 2-1, and can't remember who scored. Anyway, 2-1. But we was all taking the piss out of them because what they called the ground, because it was named
Oh,
after
yeah.
after a Portuguese stadium, I think. And
Yeah.
it was such a
That's
fucking
right.
laugh,
Yeah.
like, you know, what you call
Yeah.
it? The Stadium of fucking Light in Sunderland, you know, giving like the Sunderland kids a piss take. And that fair play to them, like, you know, it would be like if they called fucking Blues Ground, like, you know, the whatever, a similar sort of thing, you'd think, fucking what, like in Small Heath, you know. But it was
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But I like the Northeast is good. I just briefly, not the Northeast, but my first ever away game that I can remember on my own. I was 11, I think, or 10. I went to Halifax, and
Oh, in the cup.
yeah, we won 4-2 the '68 season. And my mum didn't know I was going. But a lot of the lads down by us, like the big lads, the Blues fans, a couple of kids called Tony and Brian Rochford. Do you know those?
Well, can't. No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Sefford know them. But all these lads, like, you know, they all used to go to Smiths. So I fucking go with them. Like, so I went on the coach, 10 years of age, got my ticket from Vernon's in Hall Green. Used to pick up outside Vernon's. So there's me, got my scarf, fucking 10 years of age. People looking at me going, who the fuck, who's he with? Like, you know, fuck knows that.
Yeah.
Fucking disgusting his parents letting him come on here. You know, I mean, I could fucking hear it all. I'm thinking, fuck me. And had me scarf
I
hanging
don't
out the
understand.
window like you did in the days.
Yeah.
The coach window at the top would open and close, and you could knock your scarf and hang it out. Anyway, I went to a service station, and some fucking Leicester fans come, got my scarf from the outside and cut it off with a knife and fucked off with my scarf.
Oh
So then, of
no.
course, it gets worse then. The fucking people all going, oh my God, it's absolutely disgusting that a young child come on his own and he's had his scarf stolen and what you know, and everybody's feeling fucking wholeheartedly sorry for me, you know. Anyway, we got to the game and I went with these fucking lads. I'll never forget this kid called, they called him Monkey. Fucking arms are about 8 foot long, like, that's why they call it. Only a little fella. So he sort
Yeah.
of looked after me a bit. Watched the game, we won 4-2. Have you ever been to Showground?
Not for Blues. I have been. I went to see Halifax versus Crewe on a Friday night.
What the fuck did you do that for?
I don't know. I don't know.
But anyway, it's like in a bowl, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they used to have Speedway there or something, didn't they?
That's it. And you can stand outside, look over a fence, and the ground's down there. Anyway, we went absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved the day. We won 4-2. I think Malcolm Bird scored a penalty. And we wore red. And yes, that song, because the blues songs then were absolutely brilliant. Like, the aye, Harriet is better than Yasin.
Yeah.
Hockey is better than UCBO and Halifax are in for a thrash. It sounds sort of shit now, but it was absolutely great. And all those sort of songs, there's loads of songs there. Not like now where there's like 3 or 4 songs. But anyway, absolutely fantastic. We won 4-2, got on the coach on the way home. So the coach was dropping off at New Street. It didn't take you back to your... Well, I didn't fucking know this. But on the coach back, they'd all had a whip round for me on the coach to get me a new scarf. So I got about £2, like, so I could get myself a new scarf. Fucking great, like, So got off the coach. Outside, I can see it now getting off outside the Odeon. It was dark. And I got a 31 home, tricot screen. Fucking mum going mad. Where you been? I've been to my mates, blah, blah, all that bullshit. Anyway, with the £2, I didn't buy a scarf. I fucking spent it, like, on other different things. And I don't forget, next weekend, I was in the railway. And I was in the refreshment place in the railway. And I seen one of the blokes that had the whip round for the scarf. I nearly fucking shat myself. I went and sort of hid for the rest of the game in case he saw me and said, "Where's your scarf? Did you get your scarf?" I was fucking, them sort of things stick in your mind. But that's the first away game I went on my own. I've been away before with me friend's dad. But away games are the best, Pete, aren't they?
100%. But like you said, I'm very impressed the way you managed to pull that one out, getting away from your mum and dad. I mean, with me, it was all like.
Well, it wasn't my dad. My dad had already fucked off, like, so it was only my mum.
Yeah. Basically, the old man turned around to me and says, "You're going to start following away. You got to pay your own way," sort of thing. So, of course, hence I didn't really start till 75, 76 when I'd started earning money. But by this time, you was already ducking and diving, doing your butcher's job, weren't you?
I was doing my butcher's job, yeah, probably a little bit after that. But I'd got money, but it wasn't as expensive as it is now.
No.
The coaches were like fucking £3 or £2 or something. Not even that.
Yeah.
It was cheap to go in. It wasn't like it is now. I mean, bloody hell, that'd be now. It'd be like a month's wages for going back then. If you looked at comparative prices, I mean, it used to be a cheap game. Even when I had the pubs, I had my first pub in '83. It was still cheap then.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Saturday up the ground, like £6.50 for a Guinness, which I know,
Like £6 for 300 ml can of lager.
Yeah.
In the pop-ups outside. Now, I'm not having a go at the Blues for this, right? Because I think what they did on Saturday was great. Putting the pop-ups outside so that everyone could get served. It's the only way they can do it, and fair play to them, they did it, But it's bloody expensive. I mean, I don't think I'd have paid £6 for a can of beer. I don't think I would have.
No. It's a dear old game these days, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm glad I managed to get all my drinking out of the way when it was reasonably cheap and affordable.
Don't you drink anymore, Pete?
A couple every home game, and that's it these days now. But it's sort of like with me, it's got to the stage now. I mean, I'm on my own, bringing 2 kids up. Yeah, do you want to? You got a box of tissues anywhere, or? Yeah. So I sort of like I didn't become a dad till later on in life anyway. So I'd got all my madness out the way,
Yeah.
but it's like I can't justify spending money on myself that I can spend on my kids.
Yeah, I understand that, mate. Fair play to you.
Yeah,
And it is an expensive game, isn't it? And that's why, like, my heart bleeds sometimes for people that. There's a guy that I put on the project the other day who there was a lady and she got three grandchildren and they couldn't afford to
yeah,
go to
yeah.
games. Did you see that?
I did. I love what a lovely story that was. What a bloke.
Yeah, and he bought the grand. First of all, he offered an adult ticket and two kids' tickets or something like that. And this woman had sort of approached him and said, "Could I have them?" And she said, "But there's three of us, so I'll try and get another one." And he said, "Don't worry, I'll get the three together." So he got the four tickets and he bought the three kids a silver pet blues pendant. Those are things that are just fucking brilliant, aren't they? Those sort of things. Because it's not cheap. Uh, it just isn't. And
No,
people can complain about, people sitting at home and watching it and not going to the game and that. And a lot of these are kids that just have themselves to look after. Wait till you're in a situation like you are, where I brought my son up on my own, exactly the same. And I know how fucking challenging it is. It's
yeah,
not easy. And you can't complain at people for not going now. You can't do it now for definite. But even then, it wasn't easy.
no, no. But I mean, because of the way everything went on Saturday, you had a couple of messages in your group and whatever. There was one from this a lady called Robin and whatever who took her kids and was saying how much like her kids absolutely loved it.
I've seen
That
that one. Yeah.
it was sort of like that really touches your heart. That does because them kids all, that's a fantastic memory for them to have. Thanks to Blues doing an initiative because
And,
she wouldn't have been able to go otherwise.
yeah, I really hope they keep the Gilmerick upper for that for the rest of the
Yeah,
season. They're not losing any. Well, they are. They're losing something by, but the Gilmerick upper isn't open at the moment. It doesn't make sense when you got the lower cup open and all that. So that would be absolutely brilliant for the rest of the season. Because I imagine those kids, and I remember when I first went to St Andrews, my uncle took me on a night game, and I came to the top of the steps at the back of the cop, and I couldn't fucking believe what I saw.
no, that light bulb moment in it.
Floodlights,
Yeah,
fucking huge piece of grass in the middle of Small Heath.
yeah,
And I was like, I was just hooked then. That was it for me.
yeah. But you see, the difference was then that like you were hooked, but then ducking and diving and doing a paper round or getting a thing, then you could get your pocket money together to go to a game, couldn't you?
Yeah.
These days, a kid's got to hope that an adult will take them, and like I say, it's a dear old game, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we used to take pop bottles back and all sorts just to
Yeah.
try and get a few bob, and get in. Or even, like I told you, once we went to Stoke and got in and had to break back out again and all that sort of stuff. But you could get in, you could go over, you could go in at half time if you wanted to when they opened the gates. A lot of people did that.
I mean, I was lucky, really, like you say, is that I started off going with my dad and my uncle, and they were the money tree, weren't they? You're going into the ground, it hasn't cost you anything, sort of thing, because they've paid for you. Then I started having season tickets when I was sort of like from the age of 15 when I started going on my own. That was my birthday and Christmas present was a season ticket. So
Yeah.
I was never paying for home games either. It was only the away games. And like I say, there's ways and means of getting to them, isn't there?
Where did you have your season tickets, Pete? Did you all have them in the same place?
In a ground ticket, I think it was 15 quid my first one.
Yeah. I've had tickets over the years. I've had season ticket in the Cop, in the New Tilton, in the main stand, D Wing for a couple of years. And I used to go to the
Yeah,
Wow Wow a lot when I was a kid, when I was young. when
Yeah,
they
well,
were,
that's where I first started going was the railway
yeah,
when I was a kid. Yeah,
yeah.
for,
Different
for standing
experience
up.
now. There was no fireworks. There were, but it didn't involve anything going on the pitch. You know,
Yeah,
but it was a very different experience, wasn't it? And I think these things, these sort of conversations that we're having now, and we'll talk more next time, perhaps about
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
what the experience is like being in a crowd of 54,000 people in St Andrews.
yeah. But I mean, like you said, this you said these kids who've gone on Saturday, that to, that 27,000 to them was our 50,000, wasn't it? You know what I mean? It's a full ground,
It's
and
incredible though, because it's like their idea, their experience of what happens when a goal is scored will be totally different to ours. Because I can
yeah,
remember the Sheffield Wednesday replay in '68 when we beat them 2-1 at St Andrews on the Tuesday night. I think I told you this before. We might have been, I remember speaking to you about it. We scored. I was at the back of the Kop, and I
oh, and you
ended
went,
up about 10 metres further down, and I landed right next to a schoolmate of mine. But that you had no control of where you went or what happened. When the crowd surged, you just fucking went with the crowd, didn't you?
absolutely,
I'm
yeah,
surprised more people weren't killed at football matches.
yeah. That terrible sort of like thing, I mean, like Hillsborough. I'll never forget the one game
Ibrox,
away.
Ibrox was one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, away at Sheffield United, we had, I don't know if you went to that one, we had about 76 or something. It was between us and Wolves who got relegated.
Yeah, I remember
We
this.
went up to Sheffield. They were playing Liverpool. Thankfully, Liverpool had to win the league, and Liverpool done the business. But at half time, Wolves were winning. We were losing. We managed to get a draw and stay safe. And anyway, cut short story long. It was one of them. There must have been about 15,000 Blues had gone up that night. It wasn't all ticket or nothing, but there that thing where your feet aren't on the ground
Yeah, it's
and you're
horrible.
heading towards the wall instead of the turnstile, and
Yeah.
you just literally praying. That's all you can do, rather than face plant the wall, hope that cue somehow pushes you
Yeah.
towards the
It's a
turnstile.
horrible experience as well because it's very claustrophobic, isn't it? When you actually cannot move.
No,
You can't move your arms or your legs. And like you said, if your feet are off the ground and if you're little, I mean, when you
yeah,
think about what must have happened to some people at Hillsborough, fucking
oh,
what a
yeah,
terrible way to die. But
yeah,
football.
yeah.
Anyway, you've got to go and dancing at your summit. It's not you
Yeah,
dancing, is it?
got to say Lauren to dance. So yes, because we all know what MDA are, don't we?
Fucking brilliant.
They are, mate. They're fucking brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, lovely to speak to you, Steve. We'll keep it a bit shorter this week, and we'll have another waffle soon, mate.
But just before we go, just say hello to Fritz for us, mate.
You what, sorry, mate?
Say hello to Fritz.
You're right, kidder.
He looks
Always
good. He looks good today. Pete,
good
have a
looking.
great night. Give Lauren our love, mate, and good luck at the dancing. And
Yeah,
we're going to speak soon, ain't we, mate?
yeah. All right. Take care then, mate. Ta-ra then.
See you,
Ta-ra.
Pete. Try, mate.